Do you know anything about this seed that it's called salba?
I have heard of that, but I don't know a lot about it.
Okay, yeah. And another one that it's called like a pau de arco.
Yes, that's another botanical.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I know there is a tea in that one.
yes, it's an antifungal, and it is good for the immune system. So
okay, so and there is no problem sticking this ones like in the same, like I don't say at the same time, but using those ones together, right?
In terms of you using the fluorescence and the Darko at the same time, I'm not sure about that. You would be best to work with someone that's monitoring the approaches you're taking now, and you may want to separate those out in time.
Okay. Okay, but the glutamine and fluorescence won't be any problem.
I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
One thing I will say about the glutamine, which you may or may not know, it's important to take it away from protein.
Oh, okay. I'm taking that like before my meals or when it's an empty stomach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if I take something, I usually I don't take that with the meals.
Yes.
Take that away from the meals. That's what they say.
Yes, because it's an amino acid. So if you take it with a meal where you've ingested protein, it just gets caught up in protein metabolism. But if you take it separately, then it does what you want it to do.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Your next question comes from Faryal. Please go ahead.
Hi, I'm calling from Calgary. I've been exploring this. I finished with my surgery and with my chemo last summer, and I've been exploring several different naturopaths and everything, but I'm having trouble deciding which one to go with. They all sell supplements. They all have products to sell, and I just can't make up my mind who might be. They've all been in practice for a long time, but how can you tell which one really, will deliver some real results or not?
Okay, I'll take that one. Well, first of all, do you know anyone who's been to any of these practitioners? Because word of mouth is often the best way.
No, never knew about this, never thought of it, never been about.
Well, failing that, I would say one thing it's not about is, the products they sell. It's important that you feel you can connect with this person, that you can relate well with the person. And if need be, you might ask if you could meet briefly with them, or even if you could speak. I often will speak for 5 to 10 minutes with a new patient.
I've actually met with them in person, gone, spent the money, everything, but they seem to have what seems like sales gimmicks. One of them takes a drop of your blood, puts it on a big screen and says, look, your liver is not functioning, or there's that bacteria moving. Somebody else takes a sample of your urine, just looks at it with the bare naked eye and says there's cancer cells floating in there. And you just wonder, is this just sales gimmicks? And then, of course, they all have lots and lots of products that they want you to buy. And then there's those IV injections. A lot of people are doing those now. And there should be like a central reference somehow, like an objective.
Well, there is a Alberta Association of Naturopathic Doctors, and you could call that association. I don't know the number offhand, but it should be available to you, and perhaps you could get some referrals there. It sounds like you haven't really clicked with anyone that you've met with so far.
Well, once you're in their office and you see all this, you get really convinced, and you come away and you start thinking, I thought, okay, I'll go try somebody else and then make up my mind. And then, once you come away, you're just left with a lot of doubts.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right to me.
Zillions of vitamin A, somebody else wants to take zillions of vitamin C. somebody else wants you to do something else, and so it's just totally diverse.
Well, are these all naturopathic doctors that you've seen, or are they just people that claim they're practicing?
No, naturopathic doctor, Ayurvedic doctors, Chinese herbalist, and a herbalist, regular herbalist.
Well, this is my point of view, but my opinion is that you'll get the most comprehensive approach from a naturopathic doctor. And so what I'd recommend is call the professional association in Alberta and get a few names, make a few more phone calls, because I think you'll know when you resonate with someone, when you meet them.
And another question is, with all these cleanses that you're supposed to do, can you start doing them, like just buying them from a health food store, and everywhere you turn, it's like you're supposed to cleanse your liver, your gut, your lymphatic system, and everything?
Well, there's a time and a place to cleanse. There are times when doing a cleanse is appropriate, and other times when it's absolutely inappropriate. So again, that's something that I would do under the supervision of, a licensed professional. And also, there are many, many different types of cleanses, so you need to do one that's appropriate for you and that's going to meet your goals. Does that help to answer your question?
Not really. I'm just trying to read up a lot on this stuff too and see where, because you go to the health food stores, there's so many cleanses on the shelf.
Yes, that's why I'm recommending that you consult with someone who can guide you in terms of, first of all, if it's appropriate for you to be cleansing right now, because as I say, it's not always appropriate. And secondly, what would be the best way to do that? So it makes sense to me that you're confused in the health food store because, yes, you're right, there's all sorts of things on the shelves.
Well, I haven't bought anything yet just for that. It's been 2 or 3 months I've been looking at it. But then when I go to one of these doctors, I feel, okay, they'll just push whatever they're selling. So I don't know.
Well, but that's an assumption that I'd be careful with. I don't think the primary goal of any doctor is to push what they're selling. It should be to help the person that's sitting in front of them. So that's the kind of person that you want to consult.
How do I find such a person?
Again, I'd call the Professional Association of Naturopathic Doctors in Calgary and let them know what you're looking for.
Okay.
And just to add one more thing maybe, Farrell, is I wonder if you're connected with a group of survivors who may have used naturopaths, so you may be able to get advice of fellow cancer survivors in their experiences of working with people they feel confident with. That's another route to take.
Okay.
Your next question comes from May. Please go ahead.